Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Game 6 of the NBA Championship Series at Capitol Center. Here are the starting lineups. First for the visiting Seattle Supersonics. At forward, number 43, 6'11", from Illinois Wesleyan, Jack Sikma. At forward, number 27, 6'7", from Iowa, John Johnson. At guard, number 24, 6'4", from Pepperdine, Dennis Johnson.
So the stage is
6'2",
being set.
Southern California,
The men in green
Gus
from the
Williams.
Pacific Northwest, the Seattle Supersonics, with a chance to wrap up the NBA championship. But it won't be easy because we are in Landover, Maryland, and the Washington Bullets are about to bring down the house. More than 19,000 fans on hand, many of them waving those white handkerchiefs in the background.
Champion Washington Bullets. At forward, number 10, 6'6", from Norfolk State, Bob Dandridge. At forward, number 11, 6'9", from Houston, Elvin Hayes. At guard, number 14, 6'3", from Hawaii, Tom Henderson.
Now the next man introduced will be Kevin Greevy. He was out of the lineup until just moments ago when he decided that he could play with an assortment of injuries.
At center, number 41, 6'7", from Louisville, Wes Unseld.
So they are the men who will try to keep the Bullets' hopes alive under Coach Dick Motta. They trail in this championship 3-2, so they must win here this afternoon.
The NBA on CBS. Today's championship game is sponsored by all the new 1978 Chevrolets, now at your Chevy dealers everywhere. General Motors, people building transportation to serve people. And by Lowenbrau, light special and dark special, when it's time for the taste of a truly great beer.
From the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland, it is Game 6 of the NBA Championship Series, Seattle against Washington. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Brent Musburger. This should be a whale of an afternoon. If Seattle wins, it will be the 9th straight year that we've crowned a new champion in the NBA. But the Washington Bullets have lost only once at home in the playoffs. They are prime. For more on the Supersonics, let's go to Rick Barry.
The Sonics are ready. They are loose, they're confident, and they would like nothing better than to win the championship here in the Capitol Center. In order to accomplish that goal, they have got to come out and sustain the aggressive defense that has gotten them this far. The champagne is on ice. It's up to the Bullets to put it in the deep freeze. Now for the Washington story, here's a man who has been in this difficult situation many times, John Havlicek.
For the Washington Bullets, it's do or die because today could be the end of the season. I'm sure they don't want to go on vacation. To add to their problems, Kevin Greevy sprained his wrist in the third quarter of last Friday's games. It remains to be seen as to how good he's going to be or how well he can shoot the ball. Two areas where they must improve tremendously are at the free throw line because they shot horribly in that last game. The other thing they have to do is get a better production from the bench where they were outscored 38-8. And here, back to Ben.
Our referees for this 6th game, Darrell Gerritsen on the left and Don Murphy on the right. The alternate is Ed Rush. Murphy holding the basketball. The Supersonics will be wearing their traveling green and the Bullets in their home whites. How easy or how difficult will it be for the Supersonics to wrap up a championship on the road? In 5 of the last 6 years, the NBA title has been decided on the road. Portland broke through last year at home in the 6th game against Philadelphia. Kevin Greevy with control for the Bullets. Unseld is high, and they go to Tommy Henderson for the first shot. Marvin Webster, the leading rebounder in this series, with his first in Game 6. Inside to the rookie, Sikma, and there was a foul as he came into Wes Unseld underneath.
Very good transition that time by the Sonics, getting back quickly. They caught the Bullets a little bit slow getting back. You can see the good pass coming here. There's Sikma beating Wes Unseld goes up for the shot, jumps back, and he actually drew the contact against Wes Unseld. So big break for the Seattle right in the first play of the game.
We have had a difference at the free throw line in this series. For the starters, the Washington regulars have missed 37 free throws, and the Supersonics 5 starters have missed but 22. And that really is what separates these two teams after 5 games. Here's Hayes, and young Sikmazani fouled him on the turnaround. And Gus Williams also was out.
Here we have Elvin Hayes in low. He bumps a little bit, goes up for the shot, gets a little double team action from Williams from the top, and draws the foul.
Actually, when you're playing defense against E in that situation, Brent, once he has the ball and goes into the act of making that fadeaway, there's not much you're going to be able to do, and so it really doesn't make much sense to put a bump on him, especially when the officials are going to call the game close.
A game 7, if necessary, would be Wednesday night in Seattle. Kevin Grevey forces Dennis Johnson to turn it over on the lost dribble. Grevey injured his left wrist in the loss Friday night. He did not think he would be able to play. He came out and shot early and couldn't even hit the rim. He went back in, received a shot, and he's all right. Hayes misses underneath. Sikma off to Dennis Johnson on the wing. Grevey with Dennis. They go inside, and it's John Johnson. Dandridge hands back to Grevey. Dandridge up high, rolls it off, and Elvin Hayes with a big offensive rebound.
E again getting off to a good start, something he's done in almost every playoff game, but there seems to be a period either in the third or fourth quarter where he gets lost out there and they don't get the ball to him.
So many times you're so anxious in the first moments of a game like this that you forget a few of the fundamentals and don't block out, and Elvin's been tough to contain down there.
Offensive foul is the reason why that ball was turned over. It'll go to the Washington Bullets. It was against Dennis Johnson. Grevey to the left corner, Sikma on the switch, and now Sikma goes back to E. Short, tap deep to Gus Williams. 2-on-1. Gus is off, and Dennis Johnson went down. Wes Unseld there picking up his second personal.
We have a fast break with Williams stopping at the free throw line momentarily, putting on a little burst of speed. You can see Wes Unseld appear in your picture here and actually takes DJ out of the game for a period of a minute or so. I'm sure he's going to be back and ready to play 48 minutes if need be.
Trainer Frank Furtado of the Supersonics.
What happened, Brent, is that when Gus made the move to get around Bobby Dandridge, his right leg bumped against Bobby Dandridge's knee on that spin move on the start of the break. And that would hurt him for a little while, but it should go away. Had many of those myself.
Loose ball foul, line him up. How you doing, man?
Daryl Gerritsen telling the players it was a loose ball foul, not yet in the penalty, so Seattle should line up its attack, and Murphy will hand the ball to Dennis Johnson. Tommy Henderson is with Gus Williams. John Johnson feeling it, missing that time. He shot 1 of 8 Friday night, but he was an excellent passer in that victory by the Sonics. Unseld crashing into Marvin Webster, gave it up, and it's Dennis Johnson quickly to the attack to JJ. 2 hoops now for John Johnson.
Again, the good fast break by the Seattle Sonics. And Wes Unseld got a big break. If he had contained control of that ball, he could have been called for an offensive foul very easily.
Marvin Webster decided to face up on Unseld that time, something that Lenny Wilkins has been instructing him in this series. Elvin Hayes will rotate underneath. You can see him sliding inside Dandridge. And it is Grevey off that time, and Webster's outlet is to Johnson. It's 1-on-1. Henderson is back. Dandridge joins, and they go to Williams in the corner as the Bullets drop back quickly. John Johnson being fronted underneath by Henderson on the switch. Dennis Johnson off, but Jack Sikma with an offensive rebound and a hoop for the Sonics.
Kevin Greavy's not handling the ball very much. He wants to give it to Henderson every time up the floor, so this could be a factor later on.
Henderson cut off by Webster and Dandridge at the left side. Marvin getting back on the rotation though. Williams left wing.
They scored that time. Gus Williams making a good jump shot, but that time Washington got back very well. They had 4 men down there, but you can't do much against a 25-foot jump shot.
Dick Motta kneeling down in front of the Bullet bench. Inside to Henderson. It's a 2-point Seattle lead.
That's the type of place Washington must get more of, Brent. They've got to get that inside penetration, get the cuts, get some other people involved down low.
Webster bouncing into Unseld. You can see Darrell Gerritsen saying no on the shot. Marvin Webster is called for the foul. So it'll go to the Bullets on the turnover.
We have Webster down low, backing into Unseld, trying to draw that third foul if possible, going up for the shot, and he gets called for it. I'm sure they'd like to get Wes in a little more trouble.
Wes is out high, playing with 2 personals here early. Kevin Greavy is down again on the other side. Dandridge is off. Bullets will keep it as Seattle touched it last going out of bounds. Dennis Johnson goes back, and Jack Sikma is there with Elvin Hayes. Hayes will inbound for the Bullets.
Jack, get him.
He'd like it back from Dandridge. Now he comes out of the lane, but not quickly enough. 3-second violation. If Bobby had hit him, he would have tossed up a quick shot, but they couldn't get the ball to him, and so it was a violation.
Again, in the rebounding department, Seattle 6, Washington 3, and it seems that the team that gets the most rebounds is the one that wins.
Jammed up on the ball side. Now they come loose. Gus rotating inside. And on the penetration, he was able to draw the foul from Dandridge.
They drew a mismatch that time. John Johnson had Tom Henderson, who was posting him up, and once Bobby Dandridge went down to help out, they got it back to Gus quickly, and he used the speed to go by Dandridge.
Webster turns around. Hayes with the defensive rebound. Bullets go for the tie. Swatted back. Lead pass now for Williams. Henderson is back. Gus's pull up, and it's a 4-point Seattle lead off the blocked shot. Seattle has had many more blocks in this series, largely because of Webster and Dennis Johnson. Charles Johnson will check in for the Bullets. Henderson is it back to Dandridge. Bullets attacking a lot from the right side early. Dandridge is stuffed that time by John Johnson and battled to get it back, and he tried. So it is turned over to Seattle, and they can run to a 6-point lead. Dick Motta will call a timeout here with 6 minutes and 22 seconds to go in the first period, and his Bullets trailing 11-4. When you come back, Charles Johnson will check into the backcourt. Here's a 4-point difference, 11-7. I might have confused some when we went into commercial, but it is 11-7. 4 points separate these two right now in Game 6, with Charles Johnson having replaced Kevin Greavy, and in the backcourt he goes to Dennis Johnson. Henderson is with Gus Williams. Seattle trying to increase its lead. John Johnson's shot is short. An offensive rebound blocked by the Bullets. Henderson goes to the wing, and it is CJ on the penetration, dishing back. Henderson fouled as he came up with the scoop shot.
Here's an example. Elvin Hayes, perfect timing on Dennis Johnson's ball. Blocks the shot, starts the fast break, and that time it was Washington taking advantage of Seattle on the break situation.
Rick, that's the first time they did it, and I feel that they're going to have to do much more of it to stay in this ball game and actually become more effective.
They are still missing at the free throw line. And that could be critical today. Hayes. Unseld alone on the other side. Tapped it back up. trying to get free. The crowd's so loud it is hard to even pick up the officials' whistles.
Elvin Hayes doing a little bumping on Sikma, same way that Sikma was doing it to Elvin. Here we see Wes Unseld going up. That ball looked like it still was in the cylinder a little bit, fellas.
John Johnson trying to give it up, probably feeling that he's been taking too many shots. Passing inside to Dennis Johnson. The Sonics like to sort out their shooting. The Bullets sometimes will depend largely on Elvin Hayes and Bobby Dandridge to score. Webster looks in.
Pointed out so many times, Brent, if Marvin never gets that shooting touchdown, it's going to be impossible for Wes Unseld to stop him because of the height difference.
Unseld pops high, brings Webster with him. CJ, and it's Elvin Hayes again with an offensive rebound. Unseld keeps it in play, and Hayes